A common question we get asked, especially at my music store all the time, is there a beginner guitar that I should start with that is better than an intermediate guitar or an advanced guitar or a fancy guitar? Well, those terms are used for a couple of different things. Beginner, intermediate, advanced. Typically those refer more to not the guitar itself, but to the level of the player. But if you're a beginning guitar player, the best thing to do is sometimes if you have a lot of money and want to spend a lot of money on a beginner guitar, go ahead. But you certainly don't need to, because some of the basic things you need to learn in the beginning are just a few chords, a few strumming patterns, and the quality of the guitar is not that important. Now, there are some things along those lines that are important. One is you need to make sure that the guitar is good enough quality to be able to be played easily, and that's where you have to watch out for the action of the guitar. The action is the term we use for how high the strings are off the neck, and so off the fingerboard. And if that's high, if it's too difficult to press down, you're not going to have any fun being a beginner. Matter of fact, you'll never even get past being a beginner into being an intermediate or advanced player if the guitar is painful to play, or you get really tired, really sore. You're going to get tired and sore and new sore spots in places that haven't hurt before. The tips of your fingers, for example, are going to sometimes be in pain, and you just have to play through the pain and stay with the plan of making sure you practice a little bit every day. Back to the type of guitar for a beginner, a lot of times it's better to start on a nylon string guitar, a classical guitar, if you will, because the strings are much easier to push down, and with the shape of the neck, with the neck being a little wider than a steel string guitar or an acoustic guitar, you'll typically you'll develop better hand position. And if you get a narrow-necked guitar, like an electric guitar or a Martin Dreadnought or anything along those lines, it's going to be really important to avoid bad technique hand positions, whereas a nylon string guitar promotes better hand position. This is where a teacher is very important as well. You really need to make sure you're with a teacher that knows how to prevent bad habits, because bad habits are one of the biggest things that turn guitar players into, or make you hit a plateau as a guitar student somewhere down the road. So very important to have a good quality guitar that is fairly easy to play. Think about starting with a nylon string guitar again, because it's easier on your fingers. And watch out for guitars from department stores or toy stores or anything like that. It's really good right in the beginning just to get familiar with your local stores and the teachers that are there, because chances are they know what they're doing, and they've been doing it for a long time, and they can really help you become a better player as quickly as possible. So it's not, you don't have to have a beginner guitar just because you're a beginner. You can start on any guitar, just learn how to play some chords, some simple strumming patterns, and get back to my main advice that I give everybody is practice every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. If you can only get 5 or 10 minutes in, that will have to do, but don't let the guitar sit around for 3 or 4 days at a time and collect dust, because it really is important that you work on it a little bit every day. When you get up to where, if you're taking a half-an-hour lesson from a local teacher, you should be trying to play the guitar for at least a half an hour a day. Now, in the beginning, that's fairly difficult, from a fatigue and pain point of view, but you can do it in a lot of small increments. I'll tell people, start with 3 10-minute blocks throughout the day. That's pretty manageable for most people. You don't need to set a timer or anything on it, but you can at least try to pick up the guitar for a few minutes, a couple of times a day, and pretty soon you'll be advancing. You will move out of that beginner stage into the intermediate stage in a lot less time than you think.